Auto-reloading Python Flask app upon code changes. I'm investigating how to develop a decent web app with Python. Since I don't want some high-order structures to get in my way, my choice fell on the lightweight Flask framework. Time will tell if this was the right choice. So, now I've set up an Apache server with mod_whiskey, and my test site is running fine. However, I'd like to speed up the development routine by making the site automatically reload upon any changes in py or template files I make. I see that any changes in sites.whiskey file causes reloading, even without script reloading on in the Apache config file, but I still have to prod it manually, i.e. insert extra line break save. Is there some way how to cause reload when I edit some of the app's py files? Or, I am expected to use I that refreshes the .whiskey file for me.
Run the Flask run CLI command with debug mode enabled, which will automatically enable the reloader. As of Flask 2.2, you can pass app and debug options on the command line. App can also be set to module column app or module column create_app instead of module.py. See the docs for a full explanation. More options are available with. Prior to Flask 2.2, you needed to set the Flask_app and Flask_env equals development environment variables. It is still possible to set Flask_app and Flask_debug equals 1 in Flask 2.2.
If you are talking about test/dev environments, then just use the debug option. It will auto-reload the Flask app when a code change happens. Or from the shell. This URL.
In test/development environments, the worksub debugger already has an auto-reload function available that can be enabled by doing one of the following. Or, you can also use a separate configuration file to manage all your setup if you need be. For example, I use settings.py with a debug equals true option. Importing this file is easy too. However, this is not suitable for a production environment. Personally, I chose Nginx plus USCII over Apache plus mod_whiskey for a few performance reasons, but also the configuration options. The touch reload option allows you to specify a file/folder that will cause the USCII application to reload your newly deployed Flask app. For example, your update script pulls your newest changes down and touches reload_me.txt file. Your USCII ini script, which is kept up by supervisor, obviously, has this line in it somewhere. I hope this helps.
If you're running using USCII, look at the Python auto reload option. Example USCII dev example.ini. site_root_init__.py. Then run. Note, this example also enables the debugger. I went this route to mimic production as close as possible with my Nginx setup. Simply running the Flask app with its built-in web server behind Nginx, it would result in a bad gateway error.
For Flask 1.0 until 2.2, the basic approach to hot reloading is: you should use Flask_env equals development, not Flask_debug equals 1. As a safety check, you can run Flask run debugger just to make sure it's turned on. The Flask CLI will now automatically read things like Flask_app and Flask_env if you have an .env file in the project root and have python.env installed.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.